Yeah, I wasn't really going to do an update yet on the cross of the pink Pingu male and the black Moscow female, but the babies are growing really well, and I do seem to have two different types in there. See if I can snag some that are, there you go, that's definitely different looking. I don't think that's going to be a black Moscow female, but we'll know more when they continue growing. And I just noticed that I have the absolute most smallest babies I've ever seen, ever. See if I can get some of them on here. These things are minuscule. So she just had these a few minutes ago, which is why I'm doing a video, because these would definitely be from a successful cross, because the fish have been together for about 6 weeks, and these babies, as you can see, are, I mean, I'll zoom out, these are really tiny. I mean, even tinier than normal with the black Moscow females. They have very small babies, for me anyway. So there's a bunch in there. They don't seem to bother the babies, so I'm going to leave them in there, because they seem to grow better with the adults in here. And this is the other one, the black Moscow male. This was actually a cold male, one that I culled a while back because the tail wasn't looking too good, but the genetics were fine. And as you can see, grew out to be a really nice fish. That's beautiful. The little white edging is not any kind of a fungus or issue. It's just the way it is. Did a water change in this tank yesterday, so everything is clear as can be. And there's babies in here. I did move a few others out earlier. Also, interestingly, have a dead bee in here. Interesting. So these females have each had babies a couple times, and these are the pink Pingu females, which don't have too much of a color on them, not really much at all, and the black Moscow male, which is should pass on the genetics. I should end up getting panda guppies out of that cross. So so far they're kind of colorless, and if I keep missing them on video, they're invisible. So this cross is working out well. It's one of the few times that I've done the cross both ways and had babies kind of almost immediately, you know, within a few weeks of setting up the cross. So, and this one is the one that's really doing well, but I honestly don't know what I'm going to get with the Pingu male and the black Moscow female. As I said before, I don't know that the genetics of the black Moscows are concentrated in the females' genes. I think it's in the males. So, well, we'll see what happens. But definitely some brand new babies in there, which are hard to focus on, because the water sprite plant gets confuses the camera lens, I guess. But anyway, so far all's well with these, and I'll continue the video with some updates on some other stuff. Yeah, this will be just a minute or two on the cross I was kind of threw in there because I had an extra small tank available. This was a Black Lace Snakeskin male that I culled because of this red, I don't know what you call that, like an eye spot or something on the side of the body. Very strange, but hey, I love the genetics of the rest of the male. I love that dorsal's gigantic. Plus, you know, I really haven't seen this color variety anywhere else. It does have a snakeskin pattern somewhere, which now he's out of the way. And I crossed him back to a long dorsal black Moscow. She was in a tank I had growing out for months, so I know she wasn't ever impregnated by any other males. And as you can see, today I got a bunch of babies in there, so I'm pretty interested to see what's going to happen as these grow out, because this is taking things like one step further with that Black Lace Snakeskin line that I got from crossing the Red Lace Snakeskin to a Black Moscow. So the female genetics, I'm not sure how much of that Black Moscow gets carried in the female Black Moscows, but in this case I went from what's kind of a pure, more or less Black Lace Snakeskin, which has half the Moscow genes, to a Black Moscow female. So she's still pretty full. So there may be some more babies, because these were just born today. And there's a bunch of them. There's probably about 12 of them. There's a couple more. I got to get them out because they look like breakfast to these fish. So anyway, I'll do some more updates. I'll do something on the some other fish I got. So I don't know what order I'm putting these in. But there's a pretty good look at the male. And really sharp. That's nice. You can see the snakeskin pattern goes all the way up to the head. Just have to work on getting the black spots or black marks out of the lower back part of the body. But other than that, I love this line, so we'll see what happens. Alright, this will pretty much be the end of the video for this time. This is the second generation of the Red Mosaic Snakeskin line that I'm working on. I have this male, which you can see the snakeskin pattern goes all the way up the body to the eyes. Has a nice mosaic pattern in the tail, and the dorsal is a nice long dorsal, but I need to get the same pattern in the tail more into the dorsal. So that's the goal with what I got here. That's one of the females. It's obviously been hit, and I'll probably drop some babies before too long. Now I did get an albino female in the same drop as this male and that female. Grew them all out together. Doesn't look like she's hit yet, but really developing some beautiful shaped fins, tail, etc. And we'll see what we can get. But they're just in this temporary small tank so I can video them, and they're eating some of the high protein food that I mix up. It's not really a self-promotion thing right here. It's what I can do to get the fish out in the open. So I love the pattern on the body. I really enjoy this really interesting tail pattern as well. It started out as early in its growth as a more or less like a spotting, and they've expanded into a pretty cool looking pattern. So I don't know if I can still call them mosaic. I guess so. It's almost like a stripe now. The multiple what were spots, but have a little bit less of the black marking in the upper part of the back of the body, which of course now you can't see because the dorsal's in the way. There we go. And he turned around again. Ah, man, brutal. So these are beautiful. I haven't sold any yet because I wanted to see how the shape of the tail was going to be, because the first generation, if you remember in prior videos, the very bottom of the tail edge wasn't complete. Like it was a really crappy semicircle that somebody with no art talent like me would draw. But now this one is filled in completely. I love the shape of it, and the length is just right for the tail and also the dorsal. So, well, that should be enough for this video. A few different things, mishmash of a few things going on. And I hope you enjoyed. And once again, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate the comments, good or bad. Most of them have been good. Just about all of them, actually. So thanks very much for your help.